Oh, good morning, Carol.
Your bride.
My bride. She didn't say naked, but I threw that in there. Guess what else today is? I'm going to talk about this too. Today's my daughter's birthday, Kenzie.
Kizzy.
Kenzie.
Behold.
Oh, and here I am talking about it on the show already.
Are we on?
Are we? So
Is we is or is we ain't?
we is. Hang on. We is.
My baby.
I was trying to figure out why the picture looked funny to me. I mean, that's more bigger, but it cuts me off on the side. I don't remember it doing that before. See how I'm cut off? You can't even see my arm over here wiggling around.
I don't see it. There it is.
Or this one either. I'm amputated. I'm gonna go back to this. There's weird things. I've got some weird things going on anyway.
There you are.
There are all of me. See, I
Mm-hmm.
regenerated like a salamander. I grew back. Good morning, Miss Carol. I hope
Good
you're
morning,
having a
Miss
beautiful
Carol.
day. Oh, what? I learned something about Michigan this week. Now I can't remember what it was.
It's north.
Something.
It's up north.
Might be something not to be. Might have been something I can't talk about in public. It's north of me anyway. It's east of you. I wonder if it's north of you. Surely it's about even. But it doesn't have your altitude.
No, it's still a little bit north.
Is it? Okay. But
At
on
least,
account of the world is side, of the earth is tilted or boundary lines or something. I don't know.
that daggone Trump.
Carol, you're a teacher. You tell us. That daggone what?
Trump. The earth is tilted.
It's not. She says it's north of that other state.
Well, today's episode is brought to us by old man arthritis. brought on by stupid stuff you did when you were a kid.
Oh me, I believe that because I'm hurting today. For some, I'm aching. I know it's not because I got out.
We've been raining all week.
Have you?
And well, off and on, we don't rain. We don't typically rain 24 hours a day like back east does.
Right.
We've received a fair amount, and
Brenda Sue Pruitt, I hope you're dressed. You can't get on my show naked. I can't. We can't have that. That's just not right.
And I watched the bull riding last night, and it just made me hurt just to think of
it. Just watching it makes you
just
hurt.
Watching it made me hurt. And we're going to the rodeo. We're going to the rodeo on Sunday, so anyway, we have a annual Labor Day weekend rodeo in Evanston, and just thinking about it makes me ache.
So are you going over there?
Plus my this arm is like this shoulder is like ugh.
All right, Ian did his homework. Good morning, Ian. I was hoping you had some. I hope you have some squirrel. This is going to be probably more. And this is going to be more exciting than you think. It's not just going to be our typical chasing squirrels around the woods and getting confused. This is going. I actually have a topic. So I hope you brought a good squirrel recipe with you.
Well, I got a bunch of guys coming in October to hunt
Wait a
some
minute.
mountain.
Wait a minute. Brenda has. I can't pass this up. Get it? Did you squirrel it all the way? The biggest squirrels are 7 times larger than the smallest squirrels. He has been studying. Good deal. Hey, Dave, welcome in Dave's Disney Dream. I hope you're well today. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I don't remember. Oh, I got guys coming first week of October. We're going to go to the mountain and they're going to go up and chase mountain grouse. And I'm just going to take my Hopkins and Allen and I'm going to harvest some squirrels.
Are you?
Yeah.
Cool. So you found your Hopkins and Allen.
I did.
I told Brenda that story yesterday about your wife helping you with
me.
Which she totally understood and got.
She's
helped me before.
I would be scared if she comes out to the library. You might need a lot of help out there.
No, don't say that. There's order to my chaos.
Well, that's how I look at it, but it's not right.
No, okay.
I'm not right in the head.
Well, I tell you what, I'm squirming. My leg, my dumb leg is really aggravating me right now for some reason.
Your dumb leg.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I'm gonna stand up, so I'm gonna turn myself off just for a moment. I'll still be talking. I gotta stretch his leg out.
Good morning, Mr. Dave.
Damn leg.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Brenda. Carol was already here. She jumped right in. I got dogs laying all around my feet. We got the flies are coming in the house.
So boy.
That's a bad sign.
What's that mean, winter?
That means that it's fixing to get fall.
I tell you what we got.
Which in our case is
real short.
It might be snowing.
That's true. Let me tell you what we got. Which is one reason today's topic is very appropriate. We've got a good old-fashioned memory from my childhood of opening day of squirrel season. We got really cool temperatures this week. We've been down in the 50s.
Really?
Which after 90s feels pretty cool. And it's just been, this is how I remember it. Really heavy, dewy morning. You get up and the sun's hitting the dew, and it's time to go squirrel hunting. And this is what, we used to go Labor Day week. It used to be, actually, squirrel season opened here last weekend. But my memory says it used to always open Labor Day.
Open on September 1st.
Well, or September 1st. Yeah.
I think.
Which was often Labor Day weekend too, or could be Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember going hunting on Labor. Dad I would go down to Granddad's and we'd go squirrel hunting first day. And Dad didn't like to go till it cooled off because he warbles. He actually preferred it frosted before that way he'd kill off the warbles.
Folks don't. There might be people on the show that don't know a warble.
That's true.
But that's about the grossest critter that human beings that not human beings that God invented.
Tina's up on the St. Lawrence River. They're vacating, and they got black squirrels on that island.
Oh, very, very cool.
I need to go. I need to go. Don't take this wrong, anybody. I need to go hunting. I'd like to get a black squirrel. I don't have a black squirrel.
We could just like drive through Sheboygan or at
Pick up.
Mackinac and get all kind of them.
Uh,
They probably would look down on you if you shot one of their squirrels in town there. But
yeah, they probably would.
But they had a gazillion of them.
Ian said it's been raining down his way too, which is probably makes sense. Probably about the same front you're getting. Oh, Ian, look at Ian. He said, "Here, what big scree uncas."
He what?
Ian, that's what Ian wrote. I thought that was something else. I thought he was saying something else. Big screen uncas. Never mind. It was supposed to be screen.
That was when that's when you were like working on your stupid leg.
Yeah, oh, that's true. I backed up, didn't I? Tina's not going to be watching much today. Sounds like she's going to be coming back for team replay. I thought I saw another comment. Carol said it was cool in Michigan too. So it's just been really nice down there. It'll probably get hot again for a month.
About a week, and then it'll turn winter.
Well, I kind of hope it stays cool. I miss fall weather like it used to be.
Well, like I said, the houseflies are like streaming in, coming through the dog door or however they're getting in the house, and it's not going to be long for us, for definite.
That's kind of scary.
That's always the worst sign of the end of summer is like, oh, here come the houseflies, and it's like, oh my God.
That's kind of interesting that flies are a pre-harbinger of things to come, or a harbinger of things to come. There is an area near us called Black Forest. They have black squirrels there. They are crazy compared to normal squirrels.
That's cool.
I didn't know you had.
I did not know that.
I didn't know you had black squirrels or a black forest. So you got like your own little Germany there.
That, yeah, because I mean, in the West, the only tree squirrel that's native is a red squirrel.
Yeah, boomers. Well, I don't know if they're boomers out there or not.
Boomers, fairy diddles, whatever you want to call them. They're red squirrels. Same thing we used to have on Unaka Mountain.
Yeah.
And at some point, gray squirrels and fox squirrels got to the West. I don't know if they were brought or if they just followed humans up the river or what, but we have both of those species in Wyoming now.
Yeah, fox squirrels too.
Oh yeah, more fox squirrels than grays.
Where? Well,
the whole river, the whole Platte River system has fox squirrels. We have fox squirrels in various towns. We have gray squirrels in various towns. I think were brought, probably.
I suspect your gray squirrels got introduced.
Bait Bucket Charlie filled him up a 5-gallon bucket full of gray squirrels.
What would we call that instead of Bait Bucket Charlie? What would we call that? Hunting Pouch George? Or
But then our native tree squirrel is a red squirrel, which Ian would have as well.
I would think so.
And I haven't eaten one in a long time, but I'm gonna harvest some this year, I think.
Your old Gibbons might say that they have a nutty sort of flavor.
They taste just like a wild hickory nut.
Or in his case, maybe a little white pine cone, little
I
pine
think
cone,
it's spruce cone.
spruce cone. Yeah, that's what I really meant to say. It's interesting about the fox squirrels, though. I wonder if they. That seems like a long way for them to be, but they've had a time out. Get out of here. Speaking of bugs in the house, there went something big, and I can't see it because the light's in my eyes. And I could be a damn yellow jacket. Hang on, man.
You
Pardon my
look,
language.
you looked like you were getting ready to. Uh-oh.
I'm fixing to attack. If it's a yellow jacket, I want it DEAD. Are you?
I
Hey,
think
wait a
it's
minute.
hilarious that both of us have one of these handy
They're even the same color.
right now.
I don't know where it went.
Oh my goodness.
The RUN. How do you spell it? RUND.
RUNOFT.
It run off.
Run off. Yeah.
Run off. If there's a D in there, run off.
RUNOFT.
She runs off. Run off.
Mrs. What was his last name?
Wait, don't say it. Mrs. Come on, Ian. I bet you know this.
Oh my God.
Hogwalla?
Hog Wallop.
Hogwalla. What a name.
Would you happen to have a hairnet? Yeah, I got some here from Mrs. Hog Wallop. I won't be needing them. He had a haircut that looked like mine.
He did.
He didn't need a.
Ian said
didn't need a hairnet.
Ian is
Learn to you as to whether you might have a hairnet. There's some in yon drawer or bureau.
I
Oh,
bet a lot of people don't know that term either.
sorry. We have a great big old fire burning just to the west of us.
Oh, do you?
So if I sound more nasally than normal, that's the reason.
Is it in the States or in Canada?
It's in Wyoming.
It is in Wyoming.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, 50 miles from here, 40 miles from
Not
here.
burning up anything like your favorite hunting areas or anything, is it?
No, and it's, like I said, it's been raining pretty much all week, so that's helping, but it's also helping with the smoke.
Yeah.
Because the fire's getting suppressed and
smoldery.
And they get more smoldery and smoky.
Yeah. And it's not even a fragrant pine kind of smell.
It just looks gross out there today. It's
we've
yellow light through the smoke. It's just, yeah. Anyway,
we have sunshine today, so we're making up for it.
Well, we have sun, but the sky is smoky. Smoky. All right. Haven't lived moment coming up.
I think he thought we were, because of the squatters were out and the bees were flying. I think that's what he's thinking. So,
coming up.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the big screen thing. Not that I'm in a big hurry. I just think I will go ahead and do this, and then I'll be sort of started, and we can just talk right over. Because I'm having so much fun with my topic today. I just can't. You just don't understand.
Well, I don't even know what it is, so
Well, you're fixing to find out.
I'm fixing to find out.
We're going to talk about it's going. Did you like my picture? Or did you see it? Did
I
somebody
see,
say squirrel?
I see it.
That dog's got his foot, Allen foot right on his head. Talking about the foot on the neck of the poor and oppressed. There you go.
Oh my!
Ian was talking with his coworkers. Oops, I missed who we were looking for. Oh well. Oops, I missed who we were looking for.
He was talking to somebody when we were asking the hog wallop.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So worked a camp at Black Forest. Oh, he worked a camp at a Black Forest. The campers used to call them squirrel bits because they were black. Squirrel bits or squabbits.
Squabbits.
Squabbits. I'm sorry. God, I can't read this morning. Sorry, guys. I need to go. I'm going back to school for the first time in 50 years, so maybe that's why. Actually, we're not going to the school. We didn't go to the football game last night. I checked. I hem-hauled around about that right up to the last minute. Oh, they hopped. The squirrels hopped, so they referred. That's where the squabbit come from. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, we didn't go to the ball game. We decided that I guess I decided Brenda didn't really want to go in. She didn't care one way or the other.
Well, are you guys going up today?
Yeah, we're going up today. After the show, I'll be putting on some big boy britches and
Aftershave.
I don't know about that. In my case, big boy. I asked. I wrote back. Brenda asked me a question because we were just going to go dressed as we usually do. Although I'm not going to wear short pants, I'm going to wear a pair of long pants, which kind of pains me, except that the weather's cooled off. If there was going to be a dress code, which would have put me off big time, I'll tell you right now. I don't believe in dress codes much. So I wrote an email and asked about that, and they said, no, not really. You can wear jeans, but we were going to take pictures. And my first thought was, well, what the heck's that got to do with it? I can take pictures regardless. Long pants activities are not my favorite. Ian said, well, it depends on what I'm doing, and I confess. I wear short breeches around here because it gets so blasted hot you can't hardly stand it. So I always told people I always preferred cooler weather, because I could always put on more clothes if I'm cold. But laws in society don't allow you to get as naked. You can't get off enough clothes to get cool without getting thrown in jail or something. Plus, it wouldn't be anything anybody wants to see anyway. I tell you right now. So you just can't take off enough clothes, but you can always put more on.
See you, Tina.
You gone, Tina? Bye bye. Enjoy. I didn't catch. Did she say they were headed home today? I don't know.
I don't think I've had a pair of shorts on since the last time I was wade fishing in Texas, which has been years ago now. Well, you just don't wear short breeches up here.
No, I know. I get that.
Even though it gets hot, but
yeah, but it's a dry heat.
It makes it more difficult to ride a pony or something.
Right, I get that. I understand that. I don't wear shorts when I ride my motorcycle or do things like that either, but it just gets so oppressively hot that I can't stand not to wear something short and get rid of some clothing. And what about if you jump in the river? Do you just wear your long pants then too?
No, that's probably not. I was probably exaggerating because wear shorts when we do that. So,
But other than that, I can understand you probably don't have any. All right.
yeah.
Here's what. Well, no. Let me work up to this. This is so it's more exciting. Let's do the usual. I'll do my usual house cleaning chores here. Hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. And our day in history. I didn't have much today. I looked, there was a lot of things happened today, but most of them didn't really strike my fancy, but I got a couple that did. 1909, the Burgess Shale fossil deposit was discovered in the Rocky Mountains by Charles Doolittle Walcott, and that's
Cool.
in British Columbia. And that is significant because, let me see if here it is. My notes, please. The Burgess Shale is a fossil bearing deposit exposed in the Canadian Rockies of British Columbia, Canada. It is famous for the exceptional preservation of the soft parts of its fossils. At 508 million years ago old, which is the Middle Cambrian. To do that math, you got to figure out that if that's the middle, there's a whole lot more on the other end. It is one of the earliest fossil beds containing soft part imprints. The rock unit is a black shale and crops out at several localities near the town of Field in Yoho National Park and the Kicking Horse Pass. Oh, that's a good name for a pass.
That is a great name for a pass.
Kicking Horse Pass. Wow, the guy that came up with that, I'd like to shake his hand. Another outcrop is in
Well, he might have got it was probably broken.
Probably. Another outcrop is in Kootenai National Park. Kootenai is a word I always like too. I hope I'm saying it right. That's how I've always pronounced it.
Is that in BC?
Yes, that's in BC. I didn't know if you'd ever heard of that or not. If you go to the Burgess Shale site on Wikipedia, they've got some interesting fossil pictures of plants with like the whole leaf, that's still there, and you can see all the detail. It's cool, really cool. Now, another thing and Mark and I were just talking about this yesterday or the day before yesterday. I believe yesterday. 1916, Ernest Shackleton completed the rescue of all his men stranded on Elephant Island in Antarctica. Now, that's a big deal because
all of them,
yes, he got them all. He was an Anglo-Irish Antarctic explorer back in the turn of the last century when Arctic and then Antarctic exploration was a big deal because they were all trying to be the first person to the pole, north or south. And Shackleton didn't get to the pole first, so he decided he was going to be the first guy to cross the continent of Antarctica. And it just never quite worked out for him. But on this particular mission,
his ship got icebound.
And he got stuck, and they couldn't get out, and the ship slowly but surely deteriorated till they had to get off and live on the ice floe. And then they had to figure out a way to get off there. And back then, even more than today, Antarctica was like you might as well been on Jupiter. I mean, you were you were gone. And they actually made it back to Elephant Island, and he and two of his companions, I believe, rowed and sailed a small boat till they got to, I thought they reached that Elephant Island, but they reached the southernmost area where there was a whaling camp, I guess you'd call it, or a factory. They may have referred to it where they, process whales, blubber, and that sort of thing. Back then, people did that, and he went back and rescued all his men. And this whole thing took about 2 years or 3 years. I mean, it took a long time. It wasn't like a week or two. This was months and months and months, and These guys were stranded down there. I never have totally figured out how they survived. I mean, maybe they I wonder what penguin tastes like. I bet they know.
I would recommend that anybody that's interested watch the Branagh film.
Shackleton was the
It's
name of
called Shackleton.
it. It's really if you don't know the story, it's really a fascinating story. I mean, this guy refused to quit, unlike some people who might have just said, "Oh well, we can't get back to them," and things like that did happen back then. And lots and this like the British lost on an earlier expedition to the Arctic. They were searching for the Northwest Passage. The British had several ships. There's a really good book called Terror, Terror. It's all about an expedition that was stuck in the ice up there. It's that particular book. There's one book called that. It's a partly fiction, but the story is true. And they lost a ship. They actually lost 2 or 3 ships. They also became icebound in the north. Couldn't get out. They lost one ship, then another, and they finally had to get off the ship and live on ice floes up there or land mass that would be exposed in the short part of the summer. And most of those guys, maybe none of those guys made it back. But Shackleton was by God going to get his guys back, and he did, and it's quite a story. He just wasn't going to be denied. He was not going to leave his guys down there.
He didn't lose a man.
It's an amazing tale.
Big True didn't lose a man.
If you watch the movie, or if you can't find the movie, there's several really good documentaries out there about Shackleton. And I also heavily endorse or encourage you to go watch that. So, if you're interested in history, I mean.
So our background guy that does all the work for us said that Kicking Horse Pass was named after an incident in 1858 written by Dr. James Hector.
He was kicked by his horse. Well, that's cool. Thank you, Ian, for that.
We unfortunately up here in Wyoming have a pass that's called Dead Horse Pass.
That's probably named after an incident too.
And it's an incident. And it's got more than one. And oftentimes you get told, like, take the trail that there's like 3 dead horses laying at the bottom of the cliff. Don't take the trail that has 1 dead horse. I literally had a guy tell me
that's kind of weird
one day, and I'm like, okay, so he's like, look down. If you see 3 horse skeletons, take that trail. Don't take the other one.
Seriously. Hey, did you ever?
And that is not what when you're horseback in that country. Not what you want. And these trails are nasty and steep falls. And I'm like, that's not what I want to hear, dude. My horse is a little sporty. I don't want to hear about it.
Did I ever ask you this? I mean, probably have, but I'll never forget. I walked into the extension building at UT when I first started going to school, working on my actual degree, first degree. And I had an office in that building, sort of, when I was working on my master's and doing other. I worked out of that building.
Student. When you became a grad student, you got an office.
Yeah, with about 10 other people.
Cubicle.
We didn't have cubicle walls. We were just stuck against the wall around an office. But anyway, there was a poster in there, and it was from the uh, U.S. Forest Service, and it was how to most efficiently and expediently remove the carcass of a dead horse should you happen to need to do so, and they used dynamite.
Dynamite. Yep. I
And
know guys have done that.
it showed how you lay the dynamite out on the horse carcass in what pattern so it was most effective. And that's a real thing.
I mean, if you're like in the back country, you ain't going to be digging no hole.
Right.
But a lot of that country's so rocky you couldn't dig a hole to bury a gerbil in, let alone a horse.
How about spit
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you spit.
I just about
coffee out your nose.
All over my keyboard.
Good morning.
Good morning, John. How's John this morning? Are you off to the lake?
I hope he's caught some fish recently.
Yeah, I do too. You hadn't talked about fishing much.
I hate that he's like golfing all the time and not catching fish.
Well, that's probably
them eggs don't. You got to boil one of them a long time before it's edible.
Golf eggs is just not. They're not something you really want to eat. Ian said dynamite a horse. Yes, Ian, that is not a live horse. Let me clarify. But
yeah, they're
it was when they had to clear horse off. And I've often wondered, where'd they get the dynamite? I mean, I realize they could have had access, but did they carry it up in the mountains with them? I mean, was that
I think the Forest Service did.
They must have, because I mean, why would you say that unless they had ready access to dynamite?
And we talked about this when Dave and Steve were on.
Dynamite and horses?
No, dynamite. The availability.
Yes.
I used to be able to go to. We had a general store, kind of a chain out here in Wyoming called Country General. And you could go to Country General and buy dynamite. When I first started my career, you could just like, hey, I need a box this big or whatever.
I can remember getting it. No, I never bought any, but
we were buying that to make potholes, just like Steve was. and we built them all over the place.
Yeah.
And none of us were trained. Not a single one of us had ever had any training. We had zero training in that. But then we carried, rocket net charges around in our pickup floor all the time. And those were
like dynamite.
Those were high explosives.
Yeah.
And it's just like
that's the kind of things I did have we did have a class that a friend of mine, whom I'm going to mention here in a minute, give some honorable mention to. I consider him a friend. When he was a teacher at the university, and he taught classes like fur bears and doing what I'm getting ready to say, habitat creation and whatnot. I lost what I was going to say.
Something about explosives.
Yeah. Oh, and hey, we actually got to go out and they demonstrated how to use a rocket net. And, so I had a little bit of training in how to do that.
Well,
not much.
I told the story about when we were on with Dave and Steve about being at Hawking Tech, and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources wildlife technicians came in to teach us how to use rocket nets.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't anchor the net.
That's the way it went.
It went way, way away.
Much farther than that.
Because it keeps going till the charges burn completely.
Yeah. If you don't have it tied down on one end, it's just going to keep running. So anyway, that happened. So let me finish. Let me go on.
Didn't mean to take you off that topic.
No. I got me off the subject. I got to talking about dynamite and horses. I mean, I don't even know where that came from. Oh, kicking horse pass, probably.
Kicking horse pass.
And then your pass.
And then my dead horse pass.
Dead horse pass, yes. So another big thing that happened on this day in 1963. Again, this is just a significant thing I thought was interesting. The proverbial Moscow to Washington hotline, the red phone, as it's often been depicted, and maybe it really is, between the U.S. and Soviet Union came into operation, which was something that happened right after, not the Bay of Pigs, but the Cuban Missile Crisis. So that's when the red phone came about, and it was on this day. 1967, Thurgood Marshall was confirmed as the first African American justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. I think that was pretty significant.
That's the coolest name ever.
Yeah, that's a good name. In 1983, STS-8, the Space Shuttle Challenger, took off in the first night launch of the shuttle program, and I'm not going to say his name right, but Guyon Bluford became the first African American in space. I didn't remember that until I read that. I had to go check that.
1983. Really?
1983. On this day, I'm going to go to births. Now, that's things that happened. So here's a few things that people were born. Don't ask me why.
Or died.
No, these are born.
Oh, born.
This is when these were born. Mary Shelley, the English novelist and playwright, who wrote Frankenstein, was born. I thought we're coming into the Halloween season, so
1797 she was born.
1797. I'm thinking that. You think that I don't know. I've never read the original Frankenstein book, but
I haven't either. I've seen the movie.
All the movies pick Frankenstein as being electrocuted to come back, using lightning. I agree. I wonder if she wrote that part. Is that? I heard Wolfie.
Oh yeah, Mama's coming down some stairs.
Good morning, Miss.
He thinks he needs to go do some adventure now or something.
Clear the way. Good morning, Shauna.
Morning.
She said morning if you didn't hear it.
I heard her. Fred McMurray was born on this day. And don't ask me why but I grew up watching Fred McMurray.
He's always been one of my favorite actors.
And he was born on this day. I didn't realize it, but he died in 1991. I mean, that's been a good while.
I would have thought he'd been gone before that.
And drum roll, please. The final of the month. In 1982, Jennifer Lee Pruitt Terrio was born on this date. And not long after this, Mark held her up to the sky and said, "Behold, Kissy, the only thing greater than yourself." She'd appreciate this. I put Terrio went on to found the Primrose Auction and Appraisals LLC company.
I would recreate that, but my arthritic shoulders wouldn't
allow you to do so.
Wouldn't allow it to happen.
So Mark has known my kids since they were born. So, and the last thing I put on here, because I was just there was a really long list of things that happened and people who were born and died today. So I just had to pick through. I didn't want a whole bunch.
What is the International Day of the Disappeared?
Yeah, this is when they've started this in the South American countries when they started disappearing people. I don't know about what. Well, actually, the International Day of the Disappeared on August 30th of each year is the day created to draw attention to the fate of individuals imprisoned at places and under poor conditions unknown to their relatives and or legal representatives. The impulse
have disappeared.
and probably don't, and most of them don't ever come back.
Never come back.
The impulse for the day came from the Latin American Federation of Associations for Relatives of Detained Disappeared. I can't read all that Spanish. A non-governmental organization or NGO founded in 1981 in Costa Rica as an association of local and regional groups actively working against secret imprisonment, forced disappearance, abduction in a number of Latin American countries. And I put that in there today because I thought it was significant, and I'm not going to go into great detail, but for some unknown by God reason, that seems like an important thing today in this country. I hate to say that, but anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it. Okay, this is the real topic for today. We're not just going the Cane Mutiny. What about the Cane Mutiny, John? Was that on this date? It does seem pertinent, and it really does. And I hate to say that, but it really does. When I decided I was going to talk about squirrels today, because I'll be honest, guys, I've got a show almost finished, but it wasn't quite, and it's a show I want to do a good job on. And we just had some things going on, and today is our 50th reunion of mine and Brenda's graduating class of David Crockett High School. And I just didn't want to do that. I couldn't finish putting it together, and I wanted to do it right, and I didn't want to cut it short or anything. So I will have that probably next week, and we're going to talk about the Rocky Mountain fur trade. So Ian, there's your lesson plan for next week. And it's in your part of the country. Oh, just one of Fred's biggest roles. Yes. So sorry. I forgot about him being in the Cane Mutiny. But he was in, man, he did do a lot of really cool movies. And like I said, I grew up watching him on TV with my three sons for years. And he was a bachelor father. And he got married.
Remember?
Oh yeah, the show, yeah. I do. That's how it started.
I was singing the song.
I can hear it in my head. I don't know if I can make it come out. Anyway, I always liked that show.
He was in so many Disney movies.
He was in several. Yeah. Follow me, boys.
Follow Me, Boys. That was a great one. I might even have a copy of that one.
Well, actually, I might too. Oh, so
I forgot he was in the Cane Mutiny. But it was.
So I was going to talk just squirrels today. I was just going to do a squirrel day, but I decided to make it an actual squirrel day topic.
Oh, we're doing that.
So we are going to talk about the annual squirrel cook-off of the whole world. I thought I'd throw that in there for them.
The only one that happens. Is it Springdale?
I
think it's Springdale, Arkansas.
Bentonville, it's in Bentonville now. It may have been Spring. I don't know where that's at. Benton County. I think
Bentonville's north. Bentonville's up in the northwest corner.
Yeah. Well, that's where it is now. And
Springdale was just south of there. So you had Bentonville, the home of Walmart, the starting place for Walmart, and then you had Fayetteville just south of that, where the University of Arkansas is, and then you had Springdale to the south of Fayetteville.
I always wondered why the University of wasn't in Little Rock.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know either. I have a friend, my rock doctor friend. She went to school in one of those Arkansas schools.
And I went to school east of there.
Yeah,
Huh.
Arkansas Tech. What is it? That's not what you guys call it.
No, that is not what we call it.
We might all let that pass. I
But
guess.
we're just gonna let that one slide. That is not what we call it.
Mark has a great friend that I hope to meet someday, and I believe you told me, he just sold an article to a magazine that was about getting bit by a cottonmouth
Yeah,
while at that university with you, I believe, or
yeah.
maybe before you. I'm not sure, but
We had a fisheries professor named Red Tatum.
Red
Buford,
Tatum,
Buford Red Tatum.
what a name for a fisheries biologist.
What a name for anybody. And Terry was handling that snake, showing off for a girl.
Oh Lord, no, no, don't
And
tell me.
it was a great big fat heavy duty cottonmouth.
Oh, what in the world?
And he'd probably caught it and brought it there, but he reached down into the tank and grabbed it out of there, and it turned around and whacked him. And he almost lost his left hand over this deal.
I bet he did, because they're you don't
Well,
really want to get bit by
they wanted to amputate his arm at his elbow at that time. And
They're
he's
nasty.
like, he just got out of the Air Force, like, just got out of the military. And he's like, you're not cutting my arm off.
Well, he survived it, so that's
And
good.
yeah, but he's got a big old ropey scar out of the deal. So
Oh, I bet.
anyway,
Did
it was.
they have to split his skin and all that?
It did it on its own.
Okay.
Yeah, it got big enough that it just like his arm just like ruptured.
Yeah,
that's an awful thought, but it's true.
And then it's nasty. If you've ever seen pictures, it's nasty. And that happens. Swelling gets so bad. And now I've read several stories about that, because there's some line of thought that thinks that's not the thing to do, but some people go in and actually cut the skin so that it won't rip, I guess.
Yeah.
And they literally open. Well, say it's on your arm, they literally slice it and allows it.
Well, he probably waited like a week before he went in anyway.
Well, you might as well let it get bad.
He's our people, dude. He probably
God, I bet that hurt.
Wait till it turns black and then go.
Ian, I'll try to make this short. I have stories about Walmart. I used to work on their airplanes. They used to have a fleet of twin engine, what I'm going to call a turbo commander, because they were turbine engine prop driven aircraft. But they started out with that when Sam was alive. He believed they needed the airplanes to move around and do stuff with when they needed to do it in a hurry, but he didn't want to spend a lot of money on expensive jets. So they had turboprops, and we maintained them for several years. And I went and spent, a couple of weeks in the middle of a really hard winter in I think it's Somerville, West Virginia, and repaired one that the guy had slid off the runway into the snowdrift bank one winter. And I had to go up there. We took a crew up there, and first we went up and kind of tore it apart and started fixing what we could. And then we came back to Nashville and bought and made parts of what things we needed, and went back up there and worked another week. And it was like zero, and we were in an old unheated hangar that didn't have, no heat. We had like 5 or 6 of them big old space heaters going, and just trying to stay warm. But anyway, it was interesting.
Do you know that his son was a Green Beret with Mac V Sog in Vietnam.
No, I did not know that.
Highly decorated.
Oh my, I didn't know. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I know he used to show up for meetings when we first went out there, the people in our company went and met with him, about doing business with him. Sam always showed up in a beat up old rusty pickup. And I think
he was a good guy. Crickmore, my buddy that you were talking about with the cottonmouth, he grew up up there by Bentonville, and used to go into the Walmart, the only Walmart at that time, and buy one arrow.
one arrow.
Because that's all he could afford.
Yeah, I get it.
He would go in there and buy one arrow and then take it out and break it on something and then have to go buy another arrow. You know how we buy arrows by the dozen now.
Yeah.
But see where the fork is there on that?
Here?
That's that vicious looking squirrel skull. That's the coolest logo ever.
I know. That's what's on their Facebook page is the skull and crossbones.
But where the fork, the end of the fork, that's the fork end, that's where Bentonville's at.
Oh, in the state. Yeah, okay, right. Because if you can see it,
Yeah,
guys,
if you look at the map of Arkansas, that it's up there in that northwest.
Yeah, it's up here by the fork. That's right. And this logo in the middle, the first one here where it says World Champion, I'm not 100% positive, but I believe that is only for this year.
I hope they get like a challenge coin and a patch out of that deal.
I think it's great. I saw that and I love it. And so I got a little bit of information. It says that I've got down here that the World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off is an eccentric event complete with music, funnel cakes, squirrel costumes, and the best squirrel you ever ate, and take place every fall in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Chicken of the trees, man.
That's right. They've got that, but I've got that written down somewhere here. Competition attracts both wannabe and bona fide squirrel chefs from around the country, up to 40. Listen to this. Brenda saw this yesterday. She said, "You're kidding me!" But up to 40 teams compete each year, and that's important because they have to limit it to that. They get so many applications.
They have people come from like Sweden,
yes,
and the UK and Russia.
But look, you can be named the world's greatest squirrel chef. What an honor!
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. The winning teams from last year were. I love these names.
Best topic ever.
Nutty Cheek Squirrel Squad. This one was I didn't like. This one was kind of meh. Big Time Barbecue. And Rawhide Nut Pirates. Nutty Cheeks Squirrel Squad is good, but Rawhide Nut Pirates has just got to be one of the best names ever.
And they not only do they cook squirrel, but people bring meats from all over. Wild meat.
They do wild meats in general.
It's got to be wild meat. It can't be. You can't bring like a chicken or something.
No chickens. No domestic chickens. Maybe a prairie chicken, but not a domestic chicken. And it's great because they have several competitions. It's just like a barbecue or anything else competition where you present a plate of your favorite food to the judging board, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I've got the top 3 recipes for last year that won. First place was braised squirrel tacos, and that was by Nutty Cheek Squirrel Squad of Kansas City, Missouri. Their special equipment that they needed for this dish was a blender, a large saucepan, and a large cook pot, which Brenda told me was not the same. A saucepan and a large pot, not the same. 'Cause I think the large pot's even bigger than the large saucepan. But the blender, I thought I loved that. When I saw blender, I knew this was good. I mean, when the special equipment to make your dish, first thing they list is a blender. That's crucial. And I've got the whole recipe here, and honestly, it sounds good to me too. And a lot of this stuff's got like they like to spice it up, and there are special divisions for spicy squirrel. So that was first place dish, and then let's see if I got the second place. The second place. Wow, that recipe's long. Hang on a minute. Let me get to it. I know I got it in here. It takes 45 minutes to make it. Oh, I'm already down to the third one. How did I miss the titles? Well, somehow I didn't get all the words. I got the recipes and I got how they cook them, but I didn't get what they're calling them. But one of them was like a chili dish, and one was an enchilada dish. I may have this coming up. I may have more to this. Anyway, so this is a big deal, and it happens every year in Arkansas. So just a little background, because first off, I picked all these up from their website. The anatomy of an eastern gray squirrel. Have you ever? And the guy said, you know, have you ever sat and watched a squirrel for hours, or is that just me? And I get this because I've done that. And squirrels are just so fascinating, honestly. So this anatomy of an eastern gray squirrel, I'm not going to go over all of it. For example, I don't know if you know this or not, but squirrels' ankles will swivel 180 degrees so they can take their feet and literally turn them this way.
Turn them backwards.
And that's how they climb up and down trees, which is one of the things that a cat cannot do. And there have been cases where kittens have been sort of adopted into squirrel families, believe it or not. And there used to be some cats up at, I think they were at Mountain Home, Mark, and they used to go up and down the trees with the squirrels, but they, of course, couldn't do it as well. And I remember a newspaper article being written about that. Back in God knows when, 60s or 70s, but 1900s. Baby squirrels are called kits or kittens. They have 1 to 2 litters a year, and each litter can have up to 9. That is a lot of squirrels.
Well, you know, Ernest Thompson Seton wrote about a female cat that raised a litter of squirrels.
Squirrels, yes, that's right. So
which is just fascinating to me. Like, I would think she would have just ate them.
Really?
But she did. She raised them.
Well, she must have been lactating. I mean, she had kittens too.
She had kittens. She had like 2 or 3 kittens, and they put a litter of squirrels that the mother had been killed by something. A hawk or something. They put a litter of squirrels on that cat,
and she
raised them all till they were adults and left.
Yeah. A group of squirrels is called a scurry or a dray. Now, I didn't actually know that, so I've been in a scurry or 2 in my life.
Where's Tina when we need her?
Really? She's going to like this when she gets to watch it in replay. And believe it or not, they say, this guy says at least, that they remember where up to 95% of the nuts they buried are. You know, the forest out there is all over the east, at least, is populated by trees that squirrels planted the nuts
and leaves and stuff that like.
Yeah. The
like
road.
If you go bury an acorn, as they would say in Arkansas,
I call them oak nuts myself, but
if you go bury your acorn, 95% of the time you can go back and find it.
that's what they're saying. And then the other 5% grows into giant oak trees and helps populate the forest. And that's part of their job out there is planting trees. Let's see if there's anything. This heartbeat beats about 200 times a minute. They can live up to 12 years in the wild and up to 20 years in captivity.
Squirrels?
That's what it says.
Not where I grew up.
Me either. We didn't let them live that long, I'm pretty sure.
There was way too many of them in the freezer. I used to tell people, and this is not an exaggeration, I would put so many squirrels in the freezer, it'd be like having a deer in there.
So you were making an equivalency.
Because I would get off the school bus, do my chores, and hunt till black dark, whenever Dad blew that stupid horn.
And home you would come.
I could hear that for miles.
It says that they hide better foods, the stuff they really like. They hide it in dangerous locations to hinder theft from other squirrels. I love that part.
I've never read that before. That's cool.
It says that their peripheral eyesight, out the sides, is as clear as their focal eyesight out the front, which makes them really hard to sneak up on. That's a fact, I can tell you.
It is a fact.
I have sat many a day under a tree trying to get a shot at a squirrel who was laying on top of a big limb, and all you'd ever see is his tail flick out. And somehow that squirrel always knew where I was at, so I think they could see through wood, but that's just my guess. I think they might have had X-ray vision.
Well, I watched a red squirrel, not a fox squirrel, a red squirrel, running across this kind of a blowdown up here just north of the house. And he was running along, and here come a long-tailed weasel behind him and hunting him.
Yeah.
And he was unsuccessful.
Well,
they're pretty savvy to.
Yeah, they are. They are, and it's getting. I know this is a squirrel. I'm saying, I'll never forget the day.
This is a squirrel.
Bill and I went hunting one time. We had a place down in Middle Tennessee. We deer hunted a little bit, and it was just covered in fox squirrels. I never was so excited in my life.
You and I hunted that one time, I think. Bo hunted it.
Yes, we probably did. Yes, I think so. Anyway, this fox squirrel was kind of between Phil and I. We were spread out a little bit in the woods. And he went up a tree, which they don't really like to do. Fox squirrels are ground squirrels primarily, but they will go to trees. But they are nowhere nearly as coordinated or acrobatic as their little gray cousins, who were amazing in trees. And this squirrel ran up this tree, and he tried to jump on a limb, and he missed, and he hit the ground. Poof! It was just like you've talked to. It knocked the wind out of him. You could kind of hear it. It was like somebody threw out a bag of flour. He just hit the ground, and he just kind of laid there, and then he just sort of crept off. And I was thinking, I bet every squirrel there
was
about that the day he died. It was just how about died laughing. Phil said, "What is the matter with you?" I said, did you not see that squirrel? And they just hit the ground like a ton of bricks.
Well, remember the gray squirrels would run from tree to tree, jumping from limb to limb.
Oh, they're amazing.
And their big old tail would just fluff out, and they say they use it as a parachute, basically.
Yeah, parachute and a rudder. They steer with it. And this is a little bit more squirrel anatomy that's more kind of realistic. Upper tail, lower tail, hind leg, shank, the saddle, the belly, the foreleg, eating a hot dog, which are something I forgot to mention over there. A lot of people don't know this. I'm back up a minute.
Prime cuts.
This is all, yeah, the prime cuts. This is their diet. They eat a lot of seeds. They eat flowers. Of course, we know they eat nuts. We've talked about that. They'll eat fruit. Sometimes they'll eat grass. A lot of wild animals will eat grass. Sometimes they eat it usually.
And they eat more insects and things than people think they do.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. They also eat insects, and sometimes they'll get in your garbage. But they also eat bird chicks, and eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're carnivorous little bastards on top of everything else. Excuse me.
Well, the southern flying squirrel is more of a carnivore than it is a herbivore.
I think I knew that, but I had forgotten that. They eat a lot of insects.
They eat more meat than they eat plants.
There you go. You heard it here, folks. You might not hear it anywhere else today.
And believe me, based on the scar on my finger,
they do bite.
They're good.
Them bottom teeth and those top teeth are kind of like rodents have that special teeth. They always have them, and they grow constantly, so they have to grunt. But they come out like this, and they're just like, you talk about biting through your hand.
That's
exactly right. You have not lived.
I've told the story about my grandpa catching the big fox squirrel from my grandma
and latching on to him.
And it bit through the web of his thumb, and he bit the top of his head out
to get it off.
Well, it wouldn't let go.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. So here, back to this poster. This is what I was saying. Now. This is when they started advertising this event. In case anybody wants to go, is the 13th of this September, next in just a couple of weeks. And first, I just love this. The first 40 teams that sign up get to compete. I think people would be flabbergasted, which wouldn't believe that many people show up to cook. I mean, to compete in a squirrel contest. I love that. and
literally, like I said earlier, they come from all around the world.
Yeah, they do. I mean, places you just would never imagine. And these are the awards.
And they make like Middle Eastern cuisine, and they have like professional chefs showing up.
Yes, they do.
And then Ma and Pa Kettle, they're there too.
That video you showed me was great. They introduced those teams. There were several teams there from northern Kentucky. In fact, it might be the Rawhide Nut Cutters. They may be from.
They were, and they made beautiful cuisine.
But anyway, this is the trophies that are these are plaques. I think I read that this is what the plaques look like for this year's event. First place, second place, third place. I love this.
You need to read Ian's comments. The last two especially.
Okay. Ian said that
he's pretty sure I won't hear that
anywhere else today unless it organically comes up during a college football game. Well, you never know, it could.
And then his sister-in-law had a dramatic squirrel event in college.
She swears they're the most evil creature on this planet. And you're going to have to tell that story. You know,
you can't get away with just saying a traumatic.
Yeah, you got to explain it. If you know more about it, you're going to buddy. Or I'm going to put you on the air and bring you into the show and you can tell it.
Other than when Steve and Dave were on here, this is my favorite episode ever.
They have an award for the world's, mind you, hottest squirrel eating competition. So you actually have it's kind of like eating hot wings. You know, you go in and see who can eat the most hot wings, and they make squirrel that way, spiced up, and see how much of that you can eat. There's an award for well, there's first, second, third place for that. There's a world champion squirrel skinning award, Mark. A squirrel skin.
I know. I know.
And there's a world championship. They go down to the 25th spot in the competition. That becomes a participation trophy. I don't know if I like that or not, but anyway.
And I don't know how many judges they have. Maybe you're going to get into that.
I don't know if I have the number, but I do talk about it. Yeah, just hang on a minute.
Okay, I'll pause then.
Brenda said Kelly could join in on that scanning thing. She needs some practice, but she could. And let me to explain that, guys. My daughter has chickens, our youngest, Kelly. And she called me early this week one morning about 7 or 7:30, and she said, Dad, we just shot a fox in the chicken. They've had foxes killing their chickens in the last couple of weeks. So her husband, Brad, got up early this week.
Got a new rifle out of the deal.
and got a really cool rifle out of the deal. Yeah, that's a great part. His birthday's coming up, so maybe it's his birthday present. But they had 4 red foxes in their yard one day, she told me. And right now the score is Brad 3, foxes 2. The foxes have killed 2 chickens, and he has killed 3 foxes. So he's ahead on count, but and so she's been skinning foxes this week, and I'm just proud of her. I mean, I never would imagine my daughter. I mean, my daughter's that influence.
That's so.
She just, I mean, you know. So she's scanning critters and using it in
she's
her
our
farm.
people. She's our people.
She's definitely our people. Even Jen's our people, and even if she may not act like it all the time, but she's our people. I mean, she goes a different route, you know. She's not.
Well, I told you there was a big old bull skunk in the yard, and I was looking for I'm like, my rifle's not where it normally is. And so he got away.
He escaped. She's having trouble scanning foxtails, Mark. I've got to go figure out how to help her do that. She may be trying to cut the bone out instead of pulling it out.
She needs to like strip it with its tail.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know if she knows that or not.
And people don't talk about stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, they didn't have any classes in school for that or nothing. It's pitiful.
Two pieces of wood.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Will work just fine, but
I've got to talk to her about it. She may.
I don't
know how
sticks. It's got to be like wood.
Square edges on them. So.
It needs a square edge, and if it has like a hole about the size of the tailbone,
that helps.
They make tail strippers you can buy.
I was getting ready to say, I think I need to make her a tail stripper. That's what I need to work on. I'll have to do that. Brenda, don't let me forget that. I got to build Kelly a tail stripper. So anyway, so I also picked, while I was doing this, I went back and I looked for the different posters that they use to advertise their different, every year. And they've been doing this for 20-something years, I believe, officially. I don't remember the exact number. But this is one from last year, World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off. I mean, look at that squirrel. And Case Knives was one of the official award providers. So there might be some skinning knives, in there. And did you not say earlier something about Springdale, Arkansas?
Yeah, so Springdale was where they started it.
Yeah, that's where this one was at too, apparently.
I think, and I don't know if it has floated around or if it was at Springdale for years and now it's moved up to Bentonville.
Well, how far apart is Springdale and Bentonville?
30 miles, maybe.
Are they in the same county?
Yeah, they're both in. Well,
Okay.
I think so.
Well, I think they are too, from what I read. But I go back anyway. I just like these. I just love these posters. And somewhere in here, I've got that chicken of the tree thing. Like this one a lot. This was back from the 7th annual World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off. And they had music, beer, and squirrels. September 8th, 2018. Benton County. See, it says Benton County. That's why I wondered. In the Benton County Quail Barn. Ain't everybody got a quail barn.
Well, and that's just a cool. That's a good looking squirrel right there.
It is. Carol, I kind of threw this in for you. Ian said he liked the music and beer part. It's Squirrel Bra. It's a beer. Somebody out there selling. And it's an American lager, and I don't know if they're using any kind of thing that's particular for squirrels, but it's named after it. So I think it originated with these guys.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not using squirrels.
September 20th, the 10th annual. I like that one where the squirrels. These were awful pictures. I apologize for the quality. But
it was in Bentonville then.
Yeah. See, I don't know how that worked, but anyway, they're from that area. You know what? I should pull this up on a map and at least say, well, they're this far apart or than that, because that's got to be relative. Yeah.
So Clay Newcomb, who is one of the Meat Eater podcast guys, right. He's got the Bear Grease podcast. He's a big bear hunter. He's always heavily involved in this event. And he lives in that part of Arkansas. And anyway.
Yeah, they're not too far apart on the map. I can measure it, but I'm not going to. But there's Bentonville, there's Springdale. They're probably within good rifle shot distance of one another. I don't know.
Carol, you're missing out.
What's she saying? Not that
She said she's not trying squirrel, but she'd try that lager.
I thought you'd appreciate that part. Well, I forgot. Carol, I apologize. Carol she's vegetarian.
Oh, she don't eat squirrel meat.
Take your hat off when you say that and bow. I mean, just for a moment. No, she doesn't. Brenda says, I have had squirrel dumplings that my mom had to learn how to make since she was from California. Yes, her mom had to learn how to make squirrel dumplings when she moved back here. I think I've heard her talk about that before.
That's one of my favorite meals, actually.
So here's another one from 2019.
Makes my mouth water just thinking about
it. You're getting all. America's favorite cook-off, even though America didn't know about it, or most America don't know about it. Freedom is what you make it, and we make it fun. That's a good slogan. I didn't know if you noticed this, but on the 2018 poster over here, the one beside the American flag where the squirrel's standing up to the little squirrel-sized grill, it says cage-free and organic.
Well, and that's a good point, because
it is.
Guys from all over that part of, all the way from Kentucky to Mississippi to Arkansas to Oklahoma are providing the squirrels.
Yes, they are.
And they're all wild squirrels that they went out and hunted.
One of these posters I thought said locally obtained squirrel meat or something like that. Or maybe it was in that video. Anyway, here's another world champion squirrel cook-off from, I don't know what year this one was. If you can see, the squirrel's cooking over a fire, and look what's laying on the ground beside it. The squirrel's eating rabbit. There's another poster from 2018. It says music, beer, and squirrel. It's all about the squirrel, maybe. It's all about the instead. It's all about the money. It's all about the squirrel. And the other thing is, it's free to the public. They don't charge an entry fee apparently for this. It's free.
Nothing. You get in free and you get fed.
Yeah, and you get fed. They all prepare.
That's what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about how many judges there were. They all have to have a certain portion of everything that's prepared. And then, but then the people that are participating have to make enough for the folks that are showing up.
Right, and they do. They make. I mean, that's part of the deal. For example, here's a poster that came out a year or two ago, and it was volunteers needed for the World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off, and this poster was for judging. They were asking for people that wanted to volunteer to be judges. And you can be a judge in the main competition and sample a dish like this, for example, which I didn't get the names of all these, but they look good. Or you can be a judge in there's a fiery squirrel competition, so you can that. You can be a judge in the hot squirrel,
the traditional.
Yeah, there's several fields that you can join into.
That looks like squirrel sushi.
Well, it is an Asian. It has an Asian twist. I did read that.
And like I said, they literally have like professional chefs.
Yes,
show up to prepare.
Here's a couple of nice ones. You got. I mean, here's presentations.
Squirrel taco,
and you get judged on presentation as well as what how it tastes. Usually,
what I have prepared for you today, chefs, is
here's a list. It says Asian squirrel lettuce wrap, Filipino, which would be Asian too, wouldn't it? Filipino squirrel cabbage something, rice and squirrel compote, and Alaskan crab applesauce.
A compote
with some kind of pepper, or this is a pepper. But there's an Alaskan crab meat
compote.
That's what it says.
I believe you.
And I can't read what this one says.
It just makes me laugh.
Squirrel taco. I love it. It just makes my heart sing.
Because I'd just fry it or
here's
put it in squirrel dumplings.
Sure. I mean, that's how I ate it growing up too. It's either fried with little flour and pepper.
Fancy words for Arkansas.
Or this person even supplied the judge with chopsticks. The one on the left, I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh my goodness.
And the one on the right is a squirrel picante with green rice. So that's spicy, I bet. So that's some of the dishes that would get served up. And then something that was someone who had like an exhibit there or display there was the following, and I forgot to write down the name of this group. But squirrel hunt, there are people out there who take people on squirrel hunts. They've got their squirrel dogs. This particular group has pack goats that they use to carry your gear in up into the mountains of Missouri and Arkansas. There's a brace of squirrel dogs teamed up and ready to go. And I just couldn't resist the picture at the top, the squirrel dog and the squirrel goat there right behind them. And I have known somebody who had a squirrel mule, or is that?
That's Clay. Clay rides mules when he's hunting, and he's got squirrel dogs, but he rides mules while he's hunting in Arkansas, in the Ozarks mostly, I think. But a squirrel dog is we called them feist dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're FICE, feist, not feist. And they don't have to be a specific breed; they have to be a specific size.
Yeah, they're mostly medium to small dogs. Maybe not even medium,
Yeah,
but most small.
they're small dogs. I think they have to be below a certain poundage, 20 pounds maybe.
Back
And,
when I was hunting squirrels a
and
lot,
hunting with a flash dog is a good time.
I've never hunted squirrel with dogs. I'd love to. I've always hunted them just,
Well, Pat McQueen had a feist dog, female, that we hunted with all the time, but we'd take her out like possum hunting. And the fact that we didn't use her to squirrel hunt with makes me sad.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what she probably would have been best at. But
And there are some guys around here that raise squirrel dogs, and there's a guy, I don't remember his name
they're
now.
expensive.
Oh, yeah, they can be. You're right. There's a place not far from here that's on the North Lake Reservoir where I worked, and as part of when they bought all the land and acquired it for North Reservoir, they weren't sure how much land they were going to flood. At one time, the dam was going to be higher; they were going to be flooding more land, so they bought more than they needed at the time. Most of it was not. When I say bought it, a lot of it was timbered out. It wasn't nothing there but mud and red clay and dirt. It was bad. I mean, it was pretty. The land around here was pretty much worked to death. But anyway, that's another story. Maybe someday I'll do that. I'll talk about TVA. But anyway, there's a place that's called. Oh my God, I can't think. Um, there's a big peninsula. Some people just call it the peninsula in part of Norris that TVA gave to the state of Tennessee as a combination wildlife preserve, or whatever you want to call it, and or wildlife management area, excuse me, and state forest. And this guy used to go. I knew a guy that used to go up there with the guy that had the squirrel dogs. That's where he trained the squirrel dogs all the time. And I was supposed to go with him. I really wanted to go hunt with some dogs and see how they worked. And that's when we lived in Nashville, or not Nashville. Back up. At that when I first moved up here, and I never did get to go with him. But he went. The guy I worked with went, and he said they were really good. His dogs were like the best. And I don't know what particular breeds because they're usually mixed. I mean, they're
Yeah,
not.
they're not a breed of dog.
Right.
They're a size of dog.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
there's Ranella on the meat eater deal.
Yeah.
He has one of his episodes. I don't know what season it was, or 5 or 6. He's like hunting with a guy from Kentucky, and they start out hunting at LBL, at Land Between the Lakes, for squirrels using vice dogs, and then they go to cottontail hunting with beagles and then swamp rabbits. And I can't think the guy's name, but he's considered to be the best small game hunter in the world.
Is he really?
And man, he makes some. They had him. His shows always have, like, they hunt, the first half of the show, and then they cook the second half.
Right.
And stuff he was making just was like, oh my God. I was just like mouth watering over. It was just like, oh, I can taste that now.
Hang on just a minute.
Sorry, Carol.
Sorry, Carol. But but you still would enjoy this.
But some of us.
Here is
his show is called Meat Eater. So
I don't know if that video link came up properly, and I can't see it at the moment.
Well, it posted.
Okay, well, if it posted, somebody check that and see about that is that video that you sent me the other day that we were talking about. Oh, stop it! I've lost my. Oh,
back up to.
I gotta back up, but I've also got to somehow.
Stop.
Somehow I've got to make this smaller. Oh heck!
Make it smaller.
Yeah, I've lost something underneath the picture here, and when I'm in this mode, I can't get behind. Yeah, that sounds ridiculous, but I can't get behind it to get it out. I've got my notes are behind this screen now. I can't see them.
Oh.
Without shutting it down and starting over, and I'm not going to do that. So I'll wing it from here. But anyway, that video is really good, well done, and funny. It's the one you sent me. And I love, I told you I sent you a note, I think. I don't know if you saw it. But the guy that's doing the interviews asked one of the cooks, he said, now, where do you get your squirrels? And he says, well, I get them locally. Most of them come from this fellow right over here. And there's a kid standing there, and he said, we call him Jimmy the Squirrel Killer Lewis or something like that. And I thought, oh, my God, what a great nickname when you're a kid to be known as the Squirrel Killer. That's like an Indian name, you know. That's what an honor.
It's a great video.
It's a great video.
And the big guy that's doing the interview.
Yeah, he's also Meat Eaters.
That's in bib overalls.
Yeah.
He works with Clay Newcomb.
Yeah, he's one of he does what's his show? Home. He has a separate show that he does on his own too. That this was, right. It's all part of the same system.
Yeah.
Meat Eaters.
And he's a retired. Let me think about this. I don't remember if he was an FBI guy or if he was a game warden.
Yeah. He was
in law enforcement for like 35 years or something.
And he's in I know he's in at least one of the squirrel hunting videos I've seen with Clay or with those guys. So here's a picture, and this is that you can see the one on the left is about the fiery squirrel dishes, the hot ones. That was their advertisement poster. And if you can see it on the right, there's a picture there of a squirrel cooking again with fire. And it's talking about the World Championships cook-off. And I thought it was talking about judging, but I don't see it on there now. But anyway, that tells you when everything's happening on that day. When they're cooking, it said teams start to cook. Samples are provided by the cooking teams. Then there's some other stuff.
So that picture there is a red squirrel, the one with red. All the. So that's the kind of squirrel we have here.
I think they probably put that red squirrel in there to go with the red peppers and everything. Yeah. Fiery squirrel competitions are a thing. That's one of the dishes they judge for is their fiery. That picture at the bottom, I didn't realize it until just now, is from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission.
Game and Fish Commission.
I'm sure they have a presence at this event. They're bound to.
Oh, yeah.
So here is these three people right here are the Rawhide Nut Pirates. Who are award-winning cooks at the show. I thought I can't see it, but I thought that I had some notes about them. I'll have to look in a minute. I'm afraid to click anything. I'm afraid I'll lose the whole thing. I can't remember this person. This was an ad. This was the thing they ran on the local TV out there. I realized after I put it in there that. Oh yeah, there it is. KNWA. So I'm sure if you look that channel up, looks like they're an NBC affiliate. I'm sure you could find the video they did about the squirrel. I think this was 2024. And it's talking about how it's a family a deal. They cook up good food and great memories at World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off in Springdale.
And it's the only one in the world.
So that's the end of that. So let me shrink that down and look and see if I've got some notes here. Wow, that's a different view. So anyhow, as soon as that goes away, if it ever does go away, there we go. Let me see if I had some notes on this one. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Well, I guess I didn't. I had a problem with my computer last night, and I think I lost a couple of things. But anyway, so the World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off is a thing. I mean, a real, honest to goodness thing. It's just, oh, it's amazing. I don't want to forget. Don't let me forget it before I shut down. I got something one thing I want to talk about before I go. I was going to look at the a lot of the information I found, or about individual shows and stuff, is on their. I might can pull this up. Their Facebook page has a lot of it. Like for example, well, I mentioned it a minute ago. I'll put this back up on the screen. Here they have Meat Eater, the network that Mark mentioned and we were talking about. They have they've posted all the winning recipes. An interesting thing I thought about this, because you go to some of these cook-offs and barbecues, they don't give out secrets. You go to a barbecue cook-off like where they're doing baked beans and barbecue, get off there. They don't tell you how they do it or what they put in it. They don't want to talk about how long it cooks. So when it comes to squirrels, they're just like, people are willing. So if you want to try some squirrel, if you happen to live somewhere perhaps where squirrels are in your local market, you might can prepare. I mean, here, like I said, there's the braised tacos. Let me see. Second place was squirrel dumplings. That was by the Big Time Barbecue of Pea Ridge, Arkansas. Now, Pea Ridge is a famous thing at Civil War battle, like the westernmost Civil War battle, I think, was fought there. Not that that's important right now. Nutty Cheeks, I love that name. Nutty Cheeks Squirrel Squad of Springfield, Missouri. Their third place award was for squirrel enchiladas. So all these recipes are on their website. And Carol, I don't know if they make a veggie squirrel meat substitute or not. It might be something to try to get somebody to come up with, though. This is a page I pulled up to show, some just get photos and things from. There's something about the squirrel cook-off. There's a squirrel holding a can of beer. I mean, you don't just see that every day, do you, Ian? It says, be squirrely. I think people would probably tell you that I've been squirrely most of my life. Here's another poster from a different year. I don't know if that's the guy talking. I don't want to do that right now. I mean, it's just, I meant to show this t-shirt. I didn't mean to show this. This is their Facebook page. See, it says, we need volunteers. There will be a volunteer meeting on Monday, September the 8th. So if you want to be a judge, you got to be there on the 8th now so you can go to the meeting and talk about volunteering. I'd love to show up. I'd love to be there. Let's see here. They're talking about their squirrel bra is back. You'll be able to eat squirrel and pair it with this it's a small batch Ozark Beer Company does it. There you go, Carol. Now that's an upsetting image. Please dump out that Bud Light and get that squirrel a good beer. Ain't that the truth, Carol? I mean, why do you have to put a squirrel on there with a Bud Light or any similar beer that doesn't really count? It's making me sign in. I like I said, it shut down overnight and making me sign into everything over again. Um. Here, there. You mentioned that people bring wild meats in from all kinds of stuff. Well, here's a picture that somebody did of the wild meat cooler, and if you look real close, you can see that some of the meat is shaped like animals,
like an alligator.
like an alligator. I see a rabbit back there. I see
There's a frog.
maybe a coon up there. In that video that you sent me and that I posted there a few minutes ago, one of the crews they went to was also cooking groundhog. He had a groundhog chili cooked up there. I don't know if you remember. And again, that's asking for volunteers.
I think that was them boys from Kentucky. They had a groundhog chili.
Look here at the squirrels. This might be for the skinning championship. Oh, it is. This is the World Championship Squirrel Skinning Contest. Will they show it?
No. Go.
I'd like to see what their secret was. 6, 7, 8. I wonder how long they're giving them to do that. 7 or 8.
I bet they're doing the tail thing where you cut it below the tail
and just peel it off.
Rip them off.
Yeah. You cover your ears if you're sensitive about such things, although you probably wouldn't still be here if you were. But
we used to cut them in the middle of the back and pull them both ways, and that's not
that's how I learned to do it.
That's not as efficient as the tail method, I don't think. But anyway.
Yeah, I need to learn that method. I don't think I've ever done that.
They're awful cute, but they're really good tasting.
They sure are. Chicken of the trees.
Chicken of the tree.
I was going to show you that this picture kind of demonstrates that ankle thing that we were talking about earlier. You can see that that squirrel's going down the tree, and this foot's not 180 degrees, but it's 90 degrees. So they're pretty. They can do a lot of moving around. I was going to say these are just pictures of guys at their cook work table. They're cooking up their favorite recipe. Here we go. We got some guys looks like they're doing chips, potatoes, onions. They're breading their squirrel and cooking it. That's the poster again. I saw those pictures. These are the guys that do the video, Mark. We were talking about to do the podcast. That's Clay Newcomb, and I believe that's one of his boys.
That's his son, Bear.
Bear, yeah, that's Bear. I mean, these guys they got some cool. Look at that. I love those signs they've got up there. I wonder how they decided to come up with bear grease. It's not. Sometimes their dad's on here.
Well, he's a huge bear hunter. He's not a huge bear hunter. He's a very dedicated bear hunter, and they render the bear fat and make grease out of it.
Well, yeah, and I know that, but I didn't know if that's.
And that's not so bear meat's funny because if you put like just bear meat in the freezer and don't render the fat out of it, that fat will actually spoil even in a freezer. So you have to render the fat out, and that's the product that Daniel Boone was really after when he went to Kentucky.
Bear grease.
Yeah. It was so valuable. It was like gold.
This is that link I just posted is the Facebook page for this group of the Snake Mountain Pack Goat Company, who took these guys on this squirrel hunt with the pack goats and their feist dogs. So, I mean, that'd have to be just a great adventure.
So Newcomb has these
And
they're
Washitas.
basically like oversized saddlebags that he puts on his mule when he's riding his mule up into the mountains to hunt, that are made for his dogs. So they've got holes out the back that the dog's head can go out, and then he rides up into the mountains, and then when they get to where they're going to hunt, they turn them loose. But they get to ride the mule too.
Again, here they're looking for judges. Here's something they posted to try to attract judges in. I'm sure that's not really as big a problem. I mean, I'm sure once people get there and start smelling the food, I'm sure they don't have any trouble getting judges. Oh,
We need to get Ian to go with us sometime.
we do.
I could go down and pick up my buddy Creekmore, and then we could go down and pick up Ian, and then head to Arkansas.
I think it would be so. I'd love to go to this thing. It reads like it's about a week. The whole thing. I mean, they started on the 8th. They're starting on the 8th, and it looks like the actual cook-off is on the 13th.
Yeah.
So that'd be Monday.
Yeah, it's like a squirrel hunter's rendezvous.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I guarantee you, there's trade goods there too. Oh, there's a squirrel calling contest. That's at the Pecan Festival.
Squirrel races.
Oh, I love it. Don't tread on me. Squirrel appears to be standing on a snake. That's the guy. This country life. That's this guy. That's the show this guy does on the Bear Grease channel, and that's where he's talking about chewing squirrel. That guy had so much fun at that event. You could just tell it. So anyway, and I'd like to go to that. I think that
makes me happy. Just makes me happy that it exists.
Me too. Oh, now I have something else to talk. I'm going to change gears a little bit, not entirely. This guy he likes to hunt, and I've hunted turkeys with him, but I've never hunted squirrels with him. But there's a gentleman that used to teach at the University of Tennessee, and he's not a professor, but he was an affiliate or an associate with a master's degree or something, but not a doctorate or whatever. But he taught a lot of classes, and he mentored a lot of people and helped a lot of students get jobs, and follows most of them through their careers. And I just love the man to death, and he has worked all his life. Let me put the picture on. He's one of the biggest advocates for public land and saving public land that I've ever known. And his name is Billy Menzer, or William Menzer. And I just found out yesterday that this was you don't go everywhere you find a Hellbender press. Just point that out.
Which is a big old salamander about that long.
That we have here in Tennessee, probably other places, but they are going to the Foothills Land Conservancy, which is a group in this part of the country that's been trying to save land from being developed forever. Somebody has donated with them, and they're going to dedicate a park in Maryville and Blount County to Billy Menzer. It's going to be the Billy Menzer Park. And it's a 23-acre public green space that's open to the public, and it's going to may already be open. I don't know what the date is on this issue of Hellbender. Well, this just came out last week, so it may be open now. But I think this is wonderful. I don't think when we were talking about the public lands issues a month or so back, that's the first guy I thought of because I guarantee you he was involved. In fact, I would guarantee you he is still involved because that threat still exists. And you and I talked about that a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it hadn't gone away, buddy. Well, did Billy do a bunch of black bear research?
uh, he wasn't. No, I don't. Well, he may have. And
Who am I?
you're thinking of Pelton.
Oh, I'm thinking of Pelton.
You're thinking of Dr. Pelton. Now, Billy helped a lot of students get involved in that research and was always, because he was always encouraging students to do things like that, get involved in these projects. And hang on. This man's office looked way, way more cluttered than my office. But he knew where things were at, and
that's where genius lives.
And he does. You just got to find it. And but he had contacts all over this country for people that were looking for information about wildlife opportunities, jobs, part-time, full-time, just anything. I mean, he really has his thumb on the pulse of that, and he did. He probably still does. Last time I talked to him, he was still fighting a good fight. Vietnam vet, was in artillery division. I don't remember what unit. Came home, was discharged in California, bought him a 1969 BMW motorcycle and rode that home. That's how he came back to Tennessee. I don't know if he spent a lot of time, bouncing around the country on it, but last time I talked to him, he still had that motorcycle. But he rode it back. He got out of Vietnam and he wanted some time. He needed some time, as many did, to clear their head and all that. And so he did it on the back of a motorcycle. But Billy has been to, I've been to a lot of public lands meetings with him, on both sides of the table, meetings that I was working as an employee and he was there as an advocate. I worked with him as on the advocate side. He's just a great guy, and I've got to call him because here's the layout of what it's going to look like.
Oh, that's cool.
That's actually, now that I look at it, I think that's not too far from where Phil used to work. It's off that highway anyway. So I can't think of anybody that's done more for wildlife and public land and people's ability to go to places like this and bigger places. I just looking here. Here's some of his highlights. He's helped acquire over 500,000 acres just in the Tennessee Valley and helped create 8 wildlife management areas and expanded the Great Smoky Mountains National Park by 300 acres. I remember when he did that. That was down along the Nature Conservancy area, or Foothills Parkway area, and helped them save 300 more acres in the park. He led efforts in 2006 to protect 292,000 acres of public lakeshore property around TVA lakes in 8 states. And I'm not going to say much more about any role I might have had in that. Just say he did good stuff there. He's securing Foothills Wildlife. He helped secure the Foothills Wildlife Management Area that's now grown from 4,000 to 10,000 acres. He's helped add 6,000 acres. Now, all this may be gibberish and may not mean crap to most people, but if you're a wildlife person, if you're a natural resources, if you love the outdoors, this is so friggin' important to save this land and not let it be sold to developers, which is what they tried to do a couple of months ago in the big, beautiful bill. They were trying to sell off a lot of land out Mark's Way was the initial sale in Wyoming. And then and I'm afraid that the next move is going to be around me, but I haven't heard yet. Billy would know, I guarantee you. He's helped place a conservation easement on his own property and helped his neighbors do the same. I knew he would do that. He had a farm in Blount County. He's partnered with a school in Maryville to help develop an outdoor classroom. And this is a quote from him. It says, "Since I was a small child, during my teenage years as an Eagle Scout and as a young college student, I knew I wanted to work in land conservation," said Menzer. "It's been my pleasure to share what I know with students, our community, and FLC." There's a story about him where somebody took him, or he went on a wildlife trip to some big city. And while he was there, somebody said that they found him some part of the city, and he was sitting there and he'd set a trap to catch pigeons. And he had a couple of pigeons he caught to, I don't know, for observation or to mark or band. I don't know what he was doing, but so this is, I mean, I just think this is a great thing. I'm really excited and happy for him. And like I said, I can't think of anybody that deserves it. Mr. William Menzer, good on you, buddy. You deserve that and much, much more. While I was at this website, though, I discovered something else that was exciting. Oh, is Ian going to leave? Bye, Ian. Thanks, buddy. Remember, study up on the fur trade era of the Rocky Mountains next weekend. Tomorrow in Knoxville,
the first annual pawpaw seed
and seed swap. And it's, Carol, it's also at a beer market, which should be really good. I think Phil and I'm going to try to go down there tomorrow afternoon and go to this, I think. And I think Phil's going to come up and we're going to sample some pawpaw, hopefully. And if I can get some seeds, I want to bring some and plant some up here.
Plant your whole backyard in pawpaws, buddy.
I'd love to have the whole hillside in pawpaws personally. I'd like to plant them on this steep hill and just let them take over. That's what I'd like to do. But pawpaw is this, they're this odd shape.
I've been around that tree most of my life. That large shrub, whatever you would call a pawpaw.
Yeah, they don't get real big. It's almost a shrub. It's a little taller, maybe.
And
okay, Carol, thanks for coming. And we're about to wrap up. I've got to get ready.
I've eaten pawpaws about 4 times in my entire life. They just didn't. We had a bazillion of them. I have a bazillion of them on that property that Dad's gifted me. And they just don't fruit very often. Or the deer eat them so quick, or the squirrels, or whoever.
I used to go in. I used to find a lot of them around the lakes. At Norris, I'd get off, out of a boat or something, and I'd be walking the shoreline, and I'd find lots of them up in these little coves and hollers where it's shaded. They like understory. And I'd find them
the trees or the fruit.
The trees, and I would always try to watch them for the fruit, and I would see them when they had the fruit on when they were still green. And I would go back, and I never could beat the critters to them.
Yeah,
they don't fast,
I think whitetails love them, and I think squirrels love them.
They do, and the other thing that's against pawpaws that makes what you're saying true, and what the fact that I couldn't find them is that once they ripen, they tend to ripen quickly, and then they fall, and then they're quite perishable. They don't last a long time. So once they hit the ground, if something don't eat them, they just go to mush and wash away, which is why you don't see them very often for sale anywhere, because they've not figured out a way to actually. I've read about this, and actually UT was doing a project when I was there. The forestry department, they were actually trying to cultivate a pawpaw that would be less perishable, that could be marketable. And I don't know if they ever were successful. What most people do that I've read about, there's a radio article out there on the internet that I did for an outfit here in Tennessee along the Tennessee River that I talked about the pawpaw. They asked me to do that. I did that a couple years ago. Anyway,
it's like your native banana.
Kind of. And what a lot of people do is they harvest them and then immediately mush them, and then they freeze that or make jam out of it or
Right.
jelly. And they like to make beer out of it. Carol probably won't hear this part. That's a new thing where they're using pawpaw, the sugars and what. It's got a lot of sugar in it. They're making all kinds of stuff out. Ice cream, pawpaw ice cream, and
Well, I love them, but
certain parts of the country you
I've
see it
only
more than
found them
here.
like 4 times in my entire life.
Yeah, they're just. My grandmother had a pawpaw tree in her yard at one time, and it got cut. And after that, I didn't see a pawpaw for years, or at least I didn't know it if I did. And but as I grew up, and especially once I got into natural resource kind of stuff, I learned more about pawpaws, and
That's
it's a neat
great
fruit. So I'd like to go to that tomorrow night. I don't know if
But
I'll
it's
get
a wild fruit. It just don't. It ain't gonna be tamed.
No, it's probably not going to be tamed, and that's what farmers or orchard people, I guess you can still call them farmers. That's what they were trying to. They were trying to come up with some way to market it, and they just can't. It just doesn't ship well. It doesn't package well. It's if you got them and you can sell them local, but to ship them out to other parts of the country just don't work. So anyhow,
Well, that's what my great whatever great grandpa, he lived on Little Pawpaw Creek in northern West Virginia, and even the West Virginians can't find them that often.
no, they're hard. Like I say, they're hard. Like I say, I used to find all kinds of them with fruit in the woods when I'd be working, and when I'd go back, they were always gone.
They were gone.
I never beat the critters to them. I never beat them coming off the trees. They were just gone. And so, but still, I really think they're cool, and think they're. I was looking for something else I had here.
Very
I thought
cool plant.
I saved about that, and I was going to show it. Oh no, actually, I know what it was. I'll see if I can't do this. I'm here anyway. I will close with this.
Are we pretty much the only ones on now?
Brenda's might still be. We're probably just about to end up. So I'm just going to do this. Is that's the class of 2019. I thought I had something here about our reunion, but maybe not. All right. Well, that's okay. Yeah, we may be about it. I can't tell who's on and who's not. And I thought I could. Let's see here. Maybe I can right here. Yeah, Brenda, me, and you. That might be about it right now. Everybody's had to leave, so it's time anyway. When you don't start with a big crowd, it don't take long to lose it. Anyhow, I don't know what you're doing the rest of the day, but
they missed a good show today.
Buddy, they did, and I can't. Well, I wish of the things that we want to do several things in our future before we're both dead or can't do it. I would love to go to the Squirrel Festival some year.
Yeah,
I'd
me
meet
too.
you out there.
Like I said, if I could swing by, pick up Crickmore,
it'd be
he could probably write an article about it.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
And then swing down and grab Ian.
That'd be even better. I'd love to do that. Wouldn't that be? That'd be a grand old time.
That'd be a grand old time.
I have no doubt that we would have the time of our lives.
Anyway.
Well, I'm going to, once I shut down here, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to probably put on a cleaner shirt, and I don't think I've anything on it.
And long breeches.
Huh?
And long breeches.
And long breeches. And
until the David Crockett, I said, hey.
I will. I'll do that. We're going to.
Goober says, hey.
I'm going to try to. I don't know what route I'm going to take. I think I'm going to try to go back country, and we're not going to meet at the school. We're meeting at a place they were able to rent to do whatever.
Oh, you're not even going to the high school.
Well, I don't know if they're planning on going down there or not, but we're not meeting there because that's like I said, they rented out a place where they had a hall where we could do this,
Right.
and I guess eat. I don't. We're not even sure how this is going to work, but um, I think I'm going to drive a backcountry way though, and come out through Lower Greenville and come up and hit Crockett and just drive by there. We were going to go. We were going to go last night, and I don't know, talked myself out of it. I wasn't sure I wanted to drive over just for the ball game and then back, and then get up this morning and drive back again. So we just put that off. So
Well,
but,
you two have a fine time.
well, I'm sure we're both a little nervous, strangely, because we just don't know who we're going to meet. And I'll be honest, a lot of the people that I was hoping to see there or would like to see there are no longer with us. It's amazing how many of my old childhood friends are gone. I mean, it's just all my buddies that I ran around with from elementary school, from the time I started school till we graduated, and I didn't run with them all the time, but they were the kids I grew up with, my community, my neighborhood, my Boy Scout troop.
Right.
They've all passed. I mean, literally. And then Kent and Kevin are still around. Kent Maiden and Kevin Umston. I don't think Kevin's going to be there. I'm not sure about Kent. He talked about it, but that's a long trip for him. He's from northern Indiana.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's coming or not. And but we'll have fun. It'll be good. And then we'll know. But I kind of want to drive by Crockett and just look. I may drive by our old house, down there by the pond, which I don't think's there anymore.
And get sad.
Yeah, be sad. Yeah, I'm sure you and I will have that conversation when I get home.
All right, brother.
How much it's changed. All right. Well, are you doing anything special today?
I don't know. My wife hasn't given me orders yet. So
well, you tell her I said hi. Well, I said hi earlier, but tell her we're still looking forward to you guys coming back east.
I'm gonna come. I'm gonna go walk to the river or something here in a minute, maybe.
Hey, have you seen? Okay, before you go though, have you looked at any wild cows lately?
I started one the other day where he was in. I think he was in Tennessee, actually.
Yeah, he did. We just watched that one.
But I didn't finish it. Well, I got off on a different deal, and
well, towards the end of that, they find something really neat.
Cool.
So you need to watch.
He always finds cool stuff.
He does, but this was unexpected, I think.
Oh, cool.
So it's that.
Well, I'll watch the rest of it today.
If it's not, if just in case, the first part of it, he's walking a creek, and the creek's down.
Yeah,
for glass,
way down, and they're not looking for fossils. They're looking for glass.
They're looking for slag glass. Yeah, but they find some other stuff.
Cool.
That's all I'm gonna tell you. Make it secret. You'll
all
be
right.
Anyway, and he's got a couple of other ones out that are really good too. That are new. We just saw them this week. I didn't know he had any new ones out. So
love you too, Brenda.
Anyway, you have a good time. Say hi to tell Caitlin.
Jonesboro or Johnson, wherever you're going.
Yeah, we're going to both. But tell Caitlin I said howdy.
I will.
I thought that was neat. She's got a black skinned chicken. I didn't know we had any black skinned chickens around here, or they're not common here anyway. That's a delicacy in certain parts of Asia. I know that.
Well, so
anyway, all right.
We got 2 roosters now too. Man,
I heard that.
they're like, one of them is a particularly good crower, so which I love to hear them. So anyway. All right.
Take care.
I'm leaving.
Bye.
Later.
Bye, Brenda. I'll see you down at the house in a few minutes.